Welcome to The Quiet Turn of Pages, a gentle and immersive sleep story designed to guide you into a peaceful night's rest. If you enjoy this experience and would like to explore more soothing narratives, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Before we begin our journey into the calming world of the bookstore, we'll start with a short breathing guidance to help you relax and settle in. If you prefer to skip directly to the story, you can find the timestamps for each chapter in the description below. The story follows a character named Elara as she finds solace and peace within the soft walls of a local bookstore in the quiet of evening, offering a gentle rhythm and comforting imagery to guide you toward sleep. Take a moment now to settle into a comfortable position, whether you're in bed or relaxing in your favorite chair. Allow your body to soften and relax into the surface beneath you, feeling supported and at ease. Adjust your blankets, pillows, or anything else around you to create a cozy and comforting space just for you. This is your time to let go of the day and invite a sense of calm and quiet into your evening. Allow the soft, gentle rhythm of the story to wash over you as you sink into a state of ease and peaceful relaxation. Let's take a slow, soothing breath together. Gently inhale through your nose, allowing the air to flow in softly and naturally, filling your lungs without force or strain. Then exhale slowly and gently through your mouth, like a soft sigh of relief, feeling your body become even more relaxed. With each breath, feel your body softening and releasing any lingering tension. Imagine the soft, warm glow of a lamp, the gentle sound of turning pages, and the comforting scent of aged paper. Let these images settle into your mind, bringing with them a feeling of quiet calm and gentle peace. If your mind begins to wander, that's okay. Just let those thoughts drift by, like soft clouds in a peaceful sky, and gently return your focus to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There's nothing you need to do now except listen and allow the story to carry you into a deep and restful sleep. Feel the gentle rhythm of the bookstore, the quiet murmur of pages, and the comforting warmth of a cup of tea. Let these moments of gentle peace guide you toward a soft and peaceful slumber. Now, let's begin our journey into the heart of the quiet bookstore. Chapter 1. The Soft Glow of Twilight. The day gently unwound itself, like a ball of yarn slowly unraveling into a soft, gentle heap. Elara felt the soft fading light brush against her skin as she stepped out of her home, each movement carrying a sense of quiet intention. The air held a cool, smooth touch, and the leaves on the nearby trees whispered a low song as she began her evening walk. The familiar path to the bookstore felt like a well-loved memory, each step a gentle rhythm that pulled her further from the day's activity and towards the soft embrace of evening. Her body felt relaxed, a gradual release of the day as she simply allowed her feet to meet the ground with a soft intention, moving slowly. It was not a walk defined by purposeful stride, but rather by a soft and steady allowing. The sounds of the neighborhood softened as Elara moved through the street, each sound like a gently placed piece in a tranquil puzzle. The distant hum of a car, the soft laughter of children playing further down the lane, all seemed to fade into a quiet backdrop. She felt the cool evening air against her cheeks, a gentle caress that soothed her as she continued moving forward. There was a sense of space and ease in each breath, a rhythm she naturally fell into as the sun slowly dipped towards the horizon. A soft and peaceful sense of settling down had taken hold. The world around her seemed to be slowing down and becoming quieter alongside her own inner rhythm. She felt an awareness of the softness all around her, as though she were becoming increasingly immersed into a gentle, calming world. As Elara approached the bookstore, the soft, warm glow from its windows spilled out onto the street, creating a comforting beacon of gentle invitation. She paused, taking a moment to simply feel the transition from the outside into this quiet space. It felt as though stepping from a stream onto a soft riverbank, allowing the body to pause and feel the gentle rhythm of the new space. There was a sensation of warmth on her skin as the interior light seemed to pull her gently forward, a gentle welcome in the soft, quiet evening. With a slow, deep breath, Elara moved her hand towards the door, the smooth wood feeling cool beneath her touch as she gently pressed down the handle. A wave of familiar warmth washed over her as she entered the bookstore. The scent of aged paper and wood hung in the air, a comforting fragrance that always seemed to ease her mind. Soft lamplight was scattered throughout the room, creating a gentle, diffused glow that embraced everything with a soothing touch. The shelves lined with books seemed to rise from the floor in soft waves, beckoning her with their quiet presence. She felt her body relax further, each breath deepening as she moved through the space. Her eyes gently took in the soft details, allowing everything to simply be as it was, without strain or effort. There was an unspoken understanding in the air, a feeling of quiet respect for all that was held within these walls. With soft and unhurried steps, Elara moved further into the bookstore, allowing her fingers to lightly brush against the spines of the books. The soft texture of the paper and the worn covers felt comforting against her fingertips, as though she were making soft connections with each touch. The sounds of the bookstore were quiet and gentle, the occasional rustle of a page, the soft murmur of conversation, all blended into a peaceful, almost dreamlike soundscape. She felt as though she was moving through a space made of soft and flowing silk. With each step, she was further removed from the busy rhythm of the outside world. Her awareness simply flowed from one sensory experience to the next, allowing her senses to simply be as they were, without any effort or strain. There was an overall feeling of safety and calm that had settled over Elara as she moved through the bookstore. She allowed this feeling to flow through her, each step a quiet invitation into a space of deep relaxation. The soft textures, muted sounds, and the comforting atmosphere worked as gentle anchors that pulled her further into the present moment. She felt her breath slow further as she began moving toward the small reading corner at the back, moving slowly and with intention. The bookstore seemed to hold the evening in its soft embrace, creating a gentle sanctuary for those who sought the comfort of quiet moments and the soft turn of pages. Chapter 2. The Gentle Touch of Familiar Pages. Elara moved through the aisles with soft intention, her fingers lightly tracing the spines of the books. It was not a search for anything in particular, but rather a gentle dance with the familiar faces of old stories. Each book felt like an old friend, their worn covers and softened pages whispering invitations to slow down and be present. There was a quiet rhythm in her movement, a slow and steady flow as she allowed her gaze to rest on each title, each cover, each color and texture. The bookstore seemed to have its own kind of slow breath, a gentle expansion and contraction that pulled her further into its calming embrace. She felt her body gently relaxing even further. Her shoulders softened, and the gentle tension that had been held there throughout the day now seemed to simply melt away. As she moved further down the aisle, a book with a soft faded blue cover caught her attention. The texture of the fabric felt like well-worn cloth beneath her fingertips, inviting a gentle curiosity to explore its contents. She took it from the shelf with a slow and deliberate motion, the weight of the book settling comfortably in her hands. The pages, aged with time, felt smooth and delicate, each one filled with a quiet promise of gentle stories. Elara allowed her hand to linger over the page for a moment, feeling the connection to the book and its unique journey through time. It was not about reading or learning in this moment, but about feeling the gentle touch of an old friend. With a soft sigh, Elara turned towards the small reading corner tucked away at the back of the bookstore. The soft light of a single lamp illuminated the space, creating a warm, inviting circle of calm. She moved towards the comfortable armchair that sat nestled beside the window, its fabric feeling soft and familiar beneath her touch. The soft glow of the light seemed to gently wrap around her, as though the whole space was breathing in unison with her, creating a harmonious feeling of relaxation. She settled into the chair with a slow, deliberate motion, allowing her body to fully sink into the soft cushions and feel the gentle support beneath her. She allowed her eyes to take in the overall view of the room, each detail a part of a familiar rhythm, each object existing in a state of quiet presence. The muted colors, the gentle shapes, the soft textures, all seemed to gently whisper invitations to slow down even further, to simply be still and feel the moment as it unfolded. It was not a moment to be grasped or held tightly. It was a moment to be allowed, to unfold at its own rhythm and be met with quiet presence. The feeling of the space was a soft and gentle embrace, an experience that invited a deep state of ease. The small tea corner with its kettle and soft glow of the lamp felt as though it was calling softly from nearby. With a gentle intention, Elara moved from the chair towards the small tea station, each step taken with mindful awareness and a soft rhythm of intention. The gentle clinking of the kettle as she filled it with water, the soft sound of the tea bag as she placed it in the cup. Each small sound was imbued with a feeling of quiet purpose and care. There was no hurry, no need to rush, only a simple allowance for the time to unfold in a natural, slow, and rhythmic way. The familiar scent of the herbal tea filled the air, a comforting aroma that gently filled her senses. The warm, soft light from the lamp created a sense of a soft and gentle pause, inviting her to settle into a deeper sense of peace. As she returned to the armchair, Elara held the warm cup in her hands, feeling the gentle heat seep through her fingers and into her body. She took a slow sip, allowing the soothing tea to slowly flow over her tongue, each taste a gentle invitation to further calm. The quiet rhythm of the bookstore continued its gentle song around her. She felt her body simply melt into the experience, releasing any lingering tension as she allowed the soft light, gentle sounds, and the warmth of the tea to gently pull her deeper into the moment. The book lay open on her lap, beckoning her with its soft pages, and she gently allowed her gaze to fall on the first few lines, feeling the slow, gentle movement of her body moving towards quiet contemplation and restful slumber. Chapter 3. The warmth of tea and soft whispers of stories. Elara settled back into the armchair, the warm teacup resting gently in her hands. The soft light of the lamp cast a gentle glow on the open book in her lap, each page a soft canvas inviting her gaze. The herbal tea sent a calming warmth through her body, each sip a gentle reminder to slow down and simply be present. There was no rush, no urgency, only the soft rhythm of the bookstore and the gentle murmur of stories waiting to be rediscovered. She felt her breath become slower and deeper, each inhale a gentle embrace of calm, each exhale a soft release of any lingering tension. The feeling of the tea, the gentle support of the chair, the soft lighting all seemed to blend together, creating a harmonious atmosphere of restful ease. She allowed her eyes to gently fall on the words on the page, allowing each one to softly wash over her like a gentle wave. The story was not one that demanded intense focus or intricate detail. Instead, it was a gentle weaving of simple moments, quiet reflections, and the small, meaningful interactions between the characters. The narrative felt like a soft melody, each word a gentle note that added to a soothing whole. There was no effort in reading, only a gentle allowance for the words to simply unfold and allow their soft, comforting energy to pull her further into a state of calm. The feeling of the pages beneath her fingertips was soft and worn, a tangible connection to the stories that had been held within. As she continued to read, her awareness shifted gently from the words on the page to the soft sounds of the bookstore around her. The gentle rustle of pages being turned, the soft murmur of conversations from other readers, the distant hum of the street outside, all of these sounds seemed to fade into a soothing backdrop of quiet presence. It was not that she no longer noticed the sounds, but rather that they were no longer separate from her own experience. They seemed to become part of a larger, harmonious whole, just as each breath she took became part of a continuous cycle of gentle movement. She felt herself becoming increasingly immersed in the present moment, allowing each sensation to simply unfold without judgment or analysis. The soft light from the lamp seemed to grow even warmer, casting long, gentle shadows across the room, which moved in slow, graceful dances. She felt a soft feeling of drowsiness beginning to settle in, her eyes growing increasingly heavy as her body began to slow. It wasn't a feeling of being tired or depleted. Instead, it was a sense of deep and gentle relaxation, as though she was gently surrendering into a space of complete ease. The story on the page seemed to slow as well, the words becoming increasingly soft and dreamlike, like the gentle rhythm of a lullaby. The bookstore seemed to become even quieter, the energy in the room as calm as a still pond in the early morning. She reached a point in the story where the main character, much like herself, was settling in for the evening. A familiar feeling of settling down seemed to emerge within her. She gently turned the page, feeling the soft texture of the paper beneath her fingertips, as if she were gently turning herself deeper into her own awareness. The weight of the book in her hands felt comforting, a gentle reminder of the stories that had been shared and the quiet moments she had savored. The sounds of the bookstore felt increasingly muted, as though the space itself was gently preparing for a restful night's sleep. With a gentle intention, Elara allowed her eyes to rest on the final words of the page, feeling the soft sensation of heaviness behind her eyelids. The book lay softly in her lap, as the feeling of her own body seemed to rise in awareness, as though her body itself was gently saying its good nights. The warm tea had slowly become cool, and as she placed the cup gently on the nearby table, she felt the space around her becoming still and quiet. With a soft and gentle sigh, she allowed herself to sink even deeper into the softness of the armchair, allowing her awareness to simply settle there as she felt herself drifting into the gentle embrace of sleep. Chapter 4. Drifting into the Softness of Sleep. The soft light of the lamp seemed to gently dim, as if mirroring the soft closing of Elara's eyes. The book rested gently in her lap, its pages whispering soft secrets to the quiet room. The sounds of the bookstore had faded to a distant hum, a gentle lullaby that seemed to wrap around her with a soft embrace. Her breath had slowed even further, each inhale a soft and gentle rise, each exhale a quiet release. There was a feeling of deep peace within her, a sense of complete surrender to the quiet moment, as though her entire being was gently melting into the soft embrace of the bookstore. The feeling was one of safe release, letting go of all worries and concerns and moving with complete trust into this moment of peace. The soft fabric of the armchair felt like a gentle cloud beneath her, offering complete support and ease. The warm sensations of the tea and the gentle light were still lingering in her body, like soft echoes of a comforting embrace. Her awareness seemed to expand, becoming less focused on specific sensations and more on the overall feeling of peaceful presence. There was a sense of her whole body becoming soft and yielding, as though she were becoming increasingly integrated into the space around her. The bookstore felt like a safe and gentle harbor, a space where she could simply be, without effort or strain. A feeling of gratitude seemed to quietly settle within her. Gratitude for these small and beautiful moments where time seemed to slow and the world seemed to soften around her. As Elara drifted further into the space between waking and sleeping, her thoughts became gentle and dreamlike. Soft and hazy images seemed to flow through her awareness, like soft, gentle clouds drifting slowly through the sky. The story from the book seemed to weave into these gentle thoughts, the characters and settings blending softly with her own imagination. The boundaries between her inner world and the outer world seemed to soften and blur, creating a gentle sense of interconnectedness and belonging. There was no resistance, no effort, only a gentle allowing for whatever was to unfold. She was not trying to fall asleep or relax, but rather simply allowing herself to rest and allowing the natural rhythm of her body to guide her into the quiet depths of sleep. The sounds of the bookstore had now become so soft that they seemed to be a part of her own breath. The gentle turning of pages, the soft cough of a distant reader, the hum of the street beyond the walls, all seemed to blend into a continuous and calming melody. A gentle soundscape designed to soothe and cradle her gently into sleep. Her senses were no longer focused on any one detail, but rather on the overall feeling of gentle peace and warmth. There was no distinction between her body and the space around her. Everything seemed to exist within a single field of soft awareness, where time and space seemed to quietly lose all shape and meaning. The feeling of surrender was complete. She was fully immersed in the quiet depths of her own body, feeling the gentle rhythm of rest begin to take over. The soft and gentle rhythm of her breath became the focal point, a gentle rise and fall that seemed to carry her further into a state of deep peace. She felt herself slowly becoming increasingly light and effortless, as if she was floating on a gentle wave. The body was now no longer something to be held, or contained, or managed, but rather simply a space to rest and release. There was a feeling of deep trust, knowing that her body could simply take over the process of rest without any effort from her. The bookstore was now a soft echo, a space that had provided safety and comfort, and that now existed in a soft whisper in the background of her awareness. And so Elara gently drifted into the soft embrace of sleep, leaving behind the quiet bookstore and moving into the gentle landscapes of her dreams. The soft glow of the lamp gently dimmed further, the bookstore settling into the quiet of the night, waiting for the dawn and the soft turn of pages once more. The feeling of peace and comfort lingered in the air, a gentle reminder that quiet moments and soft stories can be a gateway into deep rest and peaceful surrender. And as the listener lets go of the last details of the story, may they also drift gently into the soft, quiet embrace of sleep.